What up, y'all? I am Vegas, and this is One2Flow-On. Topic today is rap evolution. Now, when I say rap evolution, people think like, yeah, you're gonna talk about when the skill changed from this or the beat techniques changed from this to this. Nah, and I'm gonna make it very brief. I want to talk about how, and I'm not saying all, but the majority of the mainstream, and I don't want to just say mainstream and mean commercial, but I mean the consensus of subject matter in hip hop has changed throughout the years. In the 80s, rappers typically referred to drugs from the perspective of the don't do drugs. You know what I mean? Don't do drugs because it's bad. You know what I'm talking about. Back then in the 80s where doing drugs was a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? White lines. So don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It was that. Then in the 90s, which is probably more so my era than anything, in the 90s, the rappers went from don't do it to being the drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, cooking up crack and, the pot bubbling and that was the 90s. That was the consensus for most rappers' subject matter. But now, here in the 2000s, I won't say the early 2000s, but at least past 2010, rappers have become the fiends, the customers. You know what I'm talking about. Future is literally, and we know, I can, trust me, I make jokes about not understanding, but I can understand. It's just that, I got to work to understand. But if you listen to Future, he's basically the poster child for a drug addict if you just go by the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And let's look at the drugs from each era, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you talk about the 80s and they was like, don't do it and all of that, it was more so about cocaine and crack and maybe heroin or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to make that rhyme for bars. Right? So those were the kind of drugs, and that's why, rappers were against it. They were speaking out for the community. Things like that. But then in the 90s, it became more about getting money. So how are people in the ghetto get money where most of these rappers come from? Well, they were selling drugs. So they weren't the fiends. The fiends were the customers. You know what I'm saying? And the closest to them doing drugs would be weed, marijuana, right? Which, is a drug that you could jump on it, be on it for several times or whatever, however long, and then you could get off of it. That's marijuana, unless you're doing something that's crazy. But the rapper spoke from the perspective of the dude who's like, yo, I'm hustling, this is what it is out here. Period, right? So they kind of became the drug dealer. But then when you look at it now, it's not really about crack and weed. When you talk about these lyrics, it's about lean, right? It's about pills. It's about these drugs that have casualties, that have bodies on them. And we ain't just talking about the celebrities. We talking about even outside the celebrities. Lean has bodies. I don't have to start naming certain people, but pills have bodies. I don't have to start naming what singers, what rappers, what actresses. People get addicted to these things and they gone. Or they do too much of it and they gone. So coming back to hip hop, I want to ask you this question. You can leave your comments in the comment section below after you hit that subscribe and like button. But what do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Does that make it whack that the message really began with speaking out against drugs and the pushers or the people who sold drugs in the community to becoming the pusher and not really caring about the community and the people you hurt to just saying, fuck it, I'ma just be a fiend, fam. And not caring about anything. Not only are you not making money as a fiend, but you could potentially die. You know what I'm talking about. And I guess that's to say that should we look at it as such? Again, I'm the type of dude where responsibility in lyrics is 50-50 to me. If you start making music where you're preaching a positive message, then I think you can't go back from that. You can't, because then it becomes a contradiction. Your music becomes reality. But I think if your music was always based in a different universe from your actual day-to-day life, that we could see straight off the bat, because I don't think I don't think most of these dudes that rap about it are like drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some young kid may like Future, may like 21 Savage, may like any one of these dudes a lot, and what they say could influence them more over their parents or whoever else to do some of these things. But these drugs have higher consequences, you know what I'm saying? So it's a thing where in the 80s, they told you, yo, don't do this because this happened to this person, this happened to that person. So that was like, yo, I ain't doing crack, I ain't doing cocaine. But then when you look at in the 90s where they being a pusher, it still was, I'm not doing those drugs, but I'm going to get money from it. To now is like I was on lean all day and all night up, we was sleeping till you know what I'm saying? So the thing is like it's promoting, you know, basically for you to sit there and just waste away, you know? So I don't know. Is it promoting it? Is it just songs? Can you tell the difference? Do you think there are other kids that can tell the difference between a rapper, you know, just making something for entertainment purposes versus basically promoting a lifestyle to you? For me personally, I'm a grown man. Of course, it doesn't affect me, so I look at it all as entertainment. But if I was young and impressionable and I grew up in a time that was between the don't do it, but get this money or whatever, I had to make a decision if I was going to be a drug dealer or not. And obviously, I didn't decide to become one. But when it comes to kids and recreational drugs, you know, with those lyrics, I think the artist may have a responsibility to clear some of those things up before you get kids out there, you know, ODing because they're just trying to be like the video they saw. You know, I don't know. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share with people who share common interests. This is Hip Hop. I am Vegas. You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. And until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.
Drop it on the random.